Good day to everyone. Again, this is Sir A. What I'm about to share to you is the initiated tracking mechanism of the school that we started this 2021, wherein all the supplies and equipment that were donated by the local government units of General Trias City, given by the division office, and purchased by the school MOE would be placed on a certain sheet we called procurement. And we named this Google Sheet as the JCBES Supplies Equipment Tracking. If you will going to see this Google Sheet, we have entered here the item, the description, and the acquisition type, and who is the accountable officer, the serial number, and the property number. So the administrative officer too of the school, including the MOA coordinator and the supply officer, have an access of this Google Sheet so that they can enter the needed data that we need to have for this supplies and equipment tracking. So once we enter all the equipment or the supplies that were given by the LGU, given by the division office, and purchased by the school MOE, and completed the needed data in this spreadsheet, we can actually come up with our reporting of, for example, we want to know how many desktops or the details of the desktops that were given by the LGU or given by the division office. Let's say, for example, printers that were purchased by the school or given by the LGU or the division office on a certain month and a certain year or a certain date. So for this example, we will going to have a report on displaying the details about the desktop that we have in this procurement sheet. We will going to use the pivot table. So where can we see the pivot table? The pivot table can be seen in the data menu, and then you just choose pivot table. Here in the pivot table, it says that we need to have the data range. In the given data range, this procurement is the sheet name. This is the cell range, A1 up to H61. But we can actually change this data range so that if there are additional data that we have in this procurement sheet, automatically the sheet that will be created using the pivot table will be updated. So we'll just click this button or select data range, and then I'm going to click this. So it will be changed to procurement 1 and then colon 1021, meaning to say up to row 1021. Then I click OK. And then I'll insert this to a new sheet. Then I'll click create. Now here, we have here the pivot table editor. What are we going to do here? We will going to use the rows. So I'll click add, and then I want to have the item. So you will notice all the items that we place in the procurement will be displayed. And there is a grand total. So I'll uncheck the grand total. And in our example, we want to show only the desktop. So here we have what we call filters. Under filters, we can have here the item. And from the item, in the status, we can clear all. And then just type, for example, desktop. And then select desktop and then click OK. You will notice that we displayed only items that under desktop. Now, what are the other informations that we want to add in the rows? So I'll click add again, and then I'll choose acquisition type. And then I'll uncheck again show totals. So here we have the acquisition type LGU. If you updated your procurement sheet, and then we add, for example, given by the division office, there will be an acquisition type here. After the acquisition type, we want to add another information, so just click add, and then the accountable officer. You will notice all the teachers that were given by the desktop will be displayed here, and then we will going to uncheck again show totals. Now after this, we can have another information that is serial number, uncheck against show totals, and add another property number, uncheck again show totals. So now, this is the data that we got from the procurement spreadsheet with the corresponding filtered desktop and the acquisition type, the accountable officer, and then the given serial number and the property number. So we can rename this one as desktop. Now, I want to show to you that this will be updated once we add something in the procurement sheet. Let's try to add another. For example, we will going to have another desktop given by the LGU. Let's have another desktop given by the LGU. For example, we forgot to enter another desktop information. So we'll add another. So it's given by the LGU. And then the accountable officer, let's say for example, I'll choose Juliano C. Brosas. And then let's have a serial number, a sample serial number. And then the property number will be this one, 1015, because we forgot to enter the 15th computer. So for an example. Now, if you go back to desktop sheet, you will going to notice that Juliano C. Brosas was added in our desktop sheet under using the pivot table. So automatically, your desktop sheet will be updated once you add something in the procurement sheet that is related to the desktop sheet that we have here. So that is how we make a tracking of our supplies and equipment and display the needed information using the pivot table. So let's say, for example, we want to show a report about the laptop given by the local government officials or the division office using the pivot table. So you go to data again, pivot table, and then the select data range, and then click this, and then click OK. And then insert to new sheet. After that, what are we going to have? Click add rows and then item. Now, uncheck show titles. What item you want to display? Only item that is, so under filter, you clear and then you type laptop. And then click OK. So only laptop will remain. And then click add row, acquisition type if you want, and then show totals. So it will display LGU. Add another accountable officers. So it will display the personnel of the JCBES who received laptop. And then uncheck again show totals. And then we can have another information that is serial number. And then click show totals, uncheck, sorry. So this is the serial number of the laptop. And then another data, click add property number. And then uncheck show totals. So this is a report that we can have of the laptops that were given by the LGU with the corresponding accountable officer, serial number, and property number using the pivot table. So you can have this as laptop. Now, if you want others not be able to edit what you have here in laptop sheet or desktop, we can actually protect the sheet. How are we going to protect the sheet? So you go to laptop sheet, and then you go to tools, and then protect sheet. After that, what are you going to protect? The sheet, set permission. And then restrict who can edit this range, only you. So others may add something in the procurement sheet, but in the laptop sheet, you can only be the one to edit this sheet. You will notice there will be a symbol that says it is a protected sheet. Then you go back to desktop, and then go to Tools again, click Protect Sheet, and then the sheet that you want to protect is desktop, set permission, and then only you, meaning to say you can be able to edit only the desktop sheet, but the planning office, the supply officer, the AO, and the MOA coordinator will not be able to enter or edit something on this sheet. So click done. So that is how we come up with our initiated tracking of the supplies and equipment that were purchased using the school MOE or given by the division office or given by the local government units of General Trias City or even donations from other stakeholders. Thank you very much for listening and for watching this video tutorial. Again, this is Sir A. God bless everyone and be happy.